Trunks here. Porter from Hertfordshire in the red and white. Good left hook from Fifield.
Fifield's got the bee in his bonnet at the minute. He just wants to go in there and mix it with Danny Porter. And he's catching him. Porter's cut.
He's got a cut by the left eye.
Those heads are going in terribly.
That might have been a clash of heads. Cut beside the left eye of Porter. The blood won't be running into the eye at the moment. But Duke McKenzie's been saying those heads have been getting close together. And now facial damage for Danny Porter. He's had those kind of problems in the past as well. And Danny's to be getting worse too.
Fifield's edge is just going in every time.
And again the heads coming close together, and Billy Rafferty's got his work cut out there at the moment.
The referee needs to take control of the fight because they're both going in. You know, the heads are going in every time, and the elbows and everything. Nobody's taking any prisoners in there.
Fifield's letting some decent punches go in this round, and he's following in a bit with his elbows and really looking to rough Porter up. It's almost like he's been lifted by the side of the cut. It's a cruel thing to say, but it's part of the ruthlessness of professional boxing.
Yeah, he's seen the blood and he's going for it. If he can keep a bit of his composure in there, Fifield, you know he can pick his punches pretty well, but the referee's taking a look at that cut.
And they're going to have a look at that in the corner there, just to see how bad that cut is for Porter. They've wiped away the blood. It's okay for the moment, but problems for Porter here in the third.
In his career, Rick Khan was a little older, a little bit more mature, and I think he'll be able to handle the distance better.
We'll see. Campbell getting another warning from Roy Francis for holding on, and caught by an uppercut there as they broke was Mickey Cantwell.
Well, Cantwell's not keen on working inside. Whenever they get close, Cantwell's looking to hold.
It's getting to be quite a grueling battle now.
It is. Now we're coming into a test of wills. Both men are tired. They give their best boxing, and now we're seeing who's the stronger and who wants to win this title the most.
That left eye of Fifield is just starting to close up a bit. It's okay at the moment. Hasn't got to the point where the vision is impaired, but if it gets much worse, it might. Fifield is being asked to dig deep. They both are now. Wills and spirit, and Frank Maloney shouting at Fifield as he went close to him there, saying, "Come on, Darren, you want this most. You want it most." But does he? It's often what it comes down to now, isn't it?
It is. Now it's down to guts and heart. It's at this point in the fight when both fighters are tired, and it's down to who wants to win most. If Nuzzel, Cantwell hasn't done that much during this round. His jab has almost stopped.
Just when Cantwell had seemed to be regaining control, Fifield has come back well in this round. That was his round, and that's closed it up again. Can't be an awful lot in this, can there?
It can't be. I think it's, you know, 1 or 2 rounds at the most. Fifield did well there. He dug deep, pulled himself back into the fight.
This, of course, is a division where British boxing has had great success at flyweight. Great fighters like Jimmy Wilde, the ghost with a hammer in his hand. Benny Lynch, Peter Kane, Jackie Patterson, Rinty Monaghan, Walter McGowan, Terry Allen, Little Charlie Magri, Duke McKenzie, Dave McCauley. Excuses none if I've left out a few there, but we've had a lot of flyweight champions, and don't forget, of course, Pat Clinton, current WBO champion from Scotland. They'd have bombarded me with letters from north of the border if I'd forgotten him.
Fifield started this round well. He's trying to get inside and mix it up.
Last 2 rounds.
Good shots to the body there from Fifield.
Frank Maloney shouting and screaming at ringside. Cantwell's doing not enough really at the moment.
He's pretty much shut up shop. That jab is just not going out anymore.
I'm sure the corner will have told him that he has to keep on working here because it's in the balance. The winner of this can start to think about moving towards the big league. The first step on the ladder. For the loser, back to the drawing board. There's a lot at stake. Right hand from Fifield, and Cantwell rather walked onto that one.
Both men struggling desperately to get the better of this round. Good shots from Cantwell. That was a good little burst of shots that went in from Nicky Cantwell there.
2 of them now quite prepared to stand and trade. Raw guts and willpower. That was good stuff from Cantwell. Put the punches together well. And sometimes when fighters get tired and they relax a wee bit more, the punches do flow better.
That's right, because they're very tight early in the fight. And as they get more tired, they relax more and the shots come.
Well, this has been super little round. They've both given it absolutely everything. It's in the best round, I think, of the contest, this one.
Definitely, I wouldn't know how to score this round.
Difficult round to score that one, but maybe Cantwell did just the sharper work. But I wouldn't give you a long argument about it, really. It might have been even.
Now, these last few rounds have closed this fight off quite a bit. It's still all there for the taking.
Still more work, and they've done a good job because it's been a problem from very early in the contest. Mick Williamson is the man with the iron. They wouldn't really want it to go too much longer. It is closing out that.
It's getting very bad now. I don't think there's nothing but a few more rounds and now they're completely shut.
Last round, I have Cantwell just ahead going into this. How about you, Glenn?
Yes, I think just ahead. With his better boxing in the early rounds. But Fifield's come into it as the fight's gone on.
This could be some last round, couldn't it?
I think so. It's got better and better as the rounds have gone on. The last few rounds have been very good.
Cleaner shots from Cantwell.
You want it more? Come on, Darren. Run out! Come on, Darren. Good boy, that's the shot. Come on, Darren.
Fifield just, to me, looks slightly the more ragged of the two at this stage.
Yes, Cantwell threw a couple of decent combinations in this last round. Where Fifield's just lunging in. Just trying to land with something wild.
Oh, he did land with it there. Right hand on the button.
Good right hand.
easily the toughest fight that either of them have had. Fifield, with his left eye nearly closed. And this is a lot different from the amateur game where he made his name. So too for Cantwell. Good close fight for the Southern Area Championship. Cantwell suddenly sagged there and looked tired in the middle of the ring, almost as if he was running on empty. But as if to give the lie to that, he keeps on throwing out the leather.
That's right. I think both boys are very tired. None of them's been this far before. You know, they're very tired, but they're dragging it up from the boots.
Fifield gets in with a right, and Cantwell, and watch the head, says Roy Francis, this time to Fifield.
Cantwell's got a very nasty cut just above the right eye. It's bleeding quite heavy.
Too late to affect it. Last round. Whose hand will Roy Francis lift at the end? It's grown into a terrific little fight. Both of them with facial damage now.
It's a good finish from Fifield.
The bell to end it, and Cantwell gets it. Cantwell has won it on points. Mixed reaction to it. Close fight. Not much in it. Mickey Duff goes over to Frank Maloney. Those two have been talking a lot, of course, about a possible Frank Bruno-Lennox Lewis showdown. They've had a few meals together lately. There's Mickey with his back to you. Cantwell just winning it. And Mickey Duff thought that Cantwell won it by at least 3 rounds, but then Mickey Duff sometimes does tend to see fights where his own boxer is involved in a slightly lopsided fashion, I've discovered over the years.
It will be interesting to see how the referee scores, but I thought it was a close fight. I thought Cantwell probably just won it with his better work early on in the fight when he got a good lead with that jab, but I think it was a very good fight.
Let's just see how close it was. Mike Goodall's the man who can tell us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee Roy Francis has scored the contest. Darren at Fifield, 97.5 points. Mickey Cantwell, 98.5 points. The winner and new flyweight champion of the Southern Area, Mickey Cantwell.
5 rounds to 3 with 2 even. Mickey Cantwell is the Southern Area flyweight champion, but a good fight, Gary, that one, wasn't it?
Excellent fight. Fair decision, Gary?
I think that was a fair decision. There we are, the public have responded to Fifield. I suppose he put on a very good fight. He came on towards the end, but Mickey Cantwell did actually do enough to warrant that decision.
Fifield showed a lot of heart coming back into that with the body shots. We've seen him be hurting Cantwell at times.
Well, Fifield, he started believing in what he was doing as the fight went on, but by then it was too late. And Mickey kept his boxing together. I thought he was a bit troubled by body shots, but he held that together well. He didn't, he kept himself together. And even towards the end, when he looked a bit tired, but he hung in there and he battled towards the finish. So, good fight. You've got an opponent for him.
Good little fight. Could be.
Commentator tonight, Ian Dark, and with Ian, another regular member of our team on ringside.
Yes, good evening to you, Paul. Duke McKenzie is here, the 3 times world champion. Just before we talk about tonight's action, what did you think, briefly, Ben Eubank? I scored it even, a draw.
Now, I'm afraid I have to differ with you there, Ian. I made Nigel Benn a clear winner.
By how much?
2 rounds.
So you go with Glenn McCrory?
I'm afraid so, yeah.
It's all the talk here, I can tell you. People are still buzzing about that fight and who won it. We might have another pretty good one here tonight. The Commonwealth Flyweight title is on the line. The up-and-coming Darren Fifield, but being pitched in pretty deep with Danny Porter, who went quite close to beating Pat Clinton for the WBO title last year.
Yeah, Danny Porter's a really good puncher. It's a really big step up in class for Darren Fifield, and just hope he isn't found wanting in the later rounds, because Porter's a good puncher.
Is he in too deep, do you think, Fifield, if I press you for a prediction?
I think so, personally. I think that the step up in class is just going to be a little bit too much for him. What he's going to find in Danny Porter is someone who can, who's going to be there from the first round to the last round. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Fifield might just go out there and totally outbox him. That's the only way you can beat Danny Porter.
Okay, and another interesting fight here for the Southern Area Heavyweight title. That big puncher, James Oyabola. Is he going to do it against Roger McKenzie for the Southern title? We're going to find out soon.
Thanks very much to Ian Darke and Duke McKenzie. We'll be back with them in just a moment or two. Let's go down to the dressing room area at the York Hall Bethnal Green. The two boys for our feature event now getting warm in the safety and sanctity of the dressing room area. One of these men will return to the dressing room a champion for the first time, not too many minutes from now. Stay with us, we'll be getting the action underway almost immediately from the York Hall. It's the big one, the Commonwealth Flyweight on ringside in the company of Glenn McCrory. We're bringing you the fight on ringside in the company of Glenn McCrory. We're bringing you the fight for the vacant Commonwealth Flyweight title. You could call this one innocence against experience. On the one hand, Darren Fifield from Oxford. He's reached championship class very quickly after only a year in the professional ranks. The question is, has he learned enough to deal with a man like Danny Porter, who tonight makes his 7th attempt to earn a major crown? It's a fabulous opportunity for Fifield, and he believes he's ready to take it.
Well, you can see the confidence now. Good uppercuts there.
There's a lot of, well, a smearing anyway of blood around the face now of Hannah, who's starting to look very tired, disorganized, and not throwing much leather. And the referee wants to have a look here. I think he's going to take him. No, which corner is he taking him to? Oh my goodness me, real confusion. What he was trying to do, Teddy Gardner, was stop the fight, and no complaints in the end from Hannah. And Fifield wins it on a last round stoppage, and no complaints from me about that, because I think he had absolutely nothing left in the tank. Last round. Whose hand will Roy Francis lift at the end? It's grown into a terrific little fight. Both of them with facial damage now.
It's a good finish from Fifield.
The bell to end it, and Cantwell gets it. Cantwell has won it on points. Mixed reaction to it. Close fight.
Yeah, Fifield, big right hand right on the
down. Wow, did he nail him as Fifield goes to the neutral corner. And Eric Bang Bang Burton just got bound himself as the right hand by Fifield was right on the money. Closing seconds of the first round has certainly had some fireworks. And down he goes again, and this may be the end of this fight for sure. Burton is out at the end of the first round. Cannot be saved by the bell. He'll be up if it's elected to go ahead, and Max Boyd said, nope, this fight is going to be over.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have your winner at 2 minutes and 52 seconds of the first round by knockout, Darren Fifield.
Of early highlights in the career of Darren Fifield there, but Glenn McCrory, I just wonder at the age of 24 and after only 1 year in the professional ranks, whether we're not asking an awful lot of a man who's little more than a novice. What do you think?
Well, I think it is an awful lot to ask, but I think his corner, his management team have obviously looked and think this is the right fight. Porter's been there several times before, and he hasn't come good yet. So they think that probably the youth can defeat experience. It is a big step up, but I think Fifield's been in with Cantwell. He put a good performance up there. He went to America. We're seeing a very good confidence boosting knockout there. So I think that all lends itself well for this sort of fight. So I think it's time that he made a move. 24 is not that young. It's time he gets in there.
What should we expect from Danny Porter? As Glenn mentioned, he's fought a total of... This will be the 7th occasion when he's gone in for a major crown. It's never happened for him before. At the age of 29, he's not going to get too many more chances. Do you see him doing it tonight?
He can do. Certainly he can do. I think if he ever had a good an opportunity, it's tonight. He's got a young man, and obviously he's going to be very confident. He knows that he's been in with a lot better opponents, so he's going to be very, very confident. So I think it should be a very exciting fight.
They're about ready to go here at the York Bethnal Green. Why don't we get down there? And sure enough, both the fighters are in the ring. Let's get down to the ringside and join Duke McKenzie. And first, Ian Darke.
Thank you very much indeed, Paul and Glenn. Hear to that. I think it might be quite an absorbing little fight, this one. Both the fighters are now in the ring. It's a big test, as Glenn was telling you there, for Fifield. After only a year as a professional, Porter, his 7th attempt to win a major title. The question really with him is he so far on the way down now that he's ready for the taking by the 24-year-old Fifield, who is 5 years the younger man here? It's the classic confrontation between the old gnarled pro and the young up-and-comer, and they're sometimes thrillers. The ring announcer tonight is Mick Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to viewers throughout Great Britain on Sky Sports, to the heart of English boxing in London's East End at York Hall, Bethnal Green. Tonight we are sponsored by SPX Sportswear and the Daily Star newspaper. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, promoted by Frank Maloney for Panix Entertainments, who proudly present a contest of 12 3-minute rounds for the vacant Flyweight Championship of the Commonwealth, between introducing in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with the red trim, from Hitchin, a professional record from 22 fights of 12 wins, 9 losses and 1 draw, 9 wins coming by way of KO. Would you welcome, please, Danny Porter? And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the blue trunks, coming from Oxford with a professional record from 6 fights of 3 wins, 1 loss and 2 draws, 2 wins coming by way of KO. Do you welcome Darren Fifield? At today's win, Porter scaled 8 stone, Fifield 7 stone, 13 and a half pounds. Your officials appointed for this contest by the British Boxing Board of Control, the timekeeper, Mr. Nick White, the referee, Scotland's leading star referee, Mr. Billy Rafferty, the vacant Flyweight Championship of the Commonwealth.
So we're all set to go here. This title has been vacated by Francis Ampofo of Great Britain. It's been rarely held down the years by British boxers. Teddy Gardner in 1952, Keith Wallace, remember him, in the early 80s, and Ampofo himself. It's now vacant, and 2 British boxers in there contesting. It's due to go 12 rounds. Danny Porter in the white trunks here, and Darren Fifield in only his 7th professional contest in the sky blue. The reports from the training camp is that Fifield has been looking pretty strong. He's been sparring with Mickey Cantwell, the only man to beat him, and Cantwell's been pretty impressed.
They need to be strong tonight, Ian, because in Danny Porter he's going to find somebody that can be there for 12 rounds and punch hard right to the last bell.
That's the voice of Duke McKenzie, who was a world champion at this weight, as well as 2 others.
It seems really strange because, like me and Danny were in the Young England boxing team together. Like back then he was a light flyweight and I was actually fighting at flyweight, but I think he's only gone up in 1 weight since, and I've gone up nearly 4. But Danny's always been a real solid performer.
It's a chance for Porter in those white shorts to resuscitate his career. He's had a couple of close things, a draw away from home when bidding for a European title against Salvatore Fane, and a very, very close defeat against Pat Clinton in Glasgow for the WBO's flyweight title. That was last year, and a lot of people thought Porter might have won that fight. So he's been a bit unlucky, but how much does he have left?
Yeah, he's been very unlucky. Only just getting off to his trademark double left hook, 1 downstairs, 1 upstairs.
Porter has the reputation of being a busy, aggressive and pretty entertaining fighter. He's been in some good contests.
Fifield needs to be at his best tonight to beat Danny Porter, that's for sure.
Fifield, who comes from Oxford, well, can he graduate in boxing here tonight?
Step with your jab, Darren. Half a step closer. Half a step closer.
Good body shot from Fifield. They're just working in close. He's going to be as fit as a fiddle, you can bet your boots on that. Fifield, an ABA champion only last year.
It'd be interesting to see if Fifield can take Danny into the later rounds, because it would be interesting to see how well Danny made the weight.
He looks bigger, doesn't he, Porter?
He looks so much physically bigger. He puts so much into his punches as well. Can take a lot out of you in the later stages of a fight.
We've mentioned this is early in Fifield's career, but of course Charlie Magri was a British champion at this weight in only his third fight. Things do happen a bit quicker for flyweights because there are so few of them around usually. Well, pacey first round. A lot of punches given. There's Darren Fifield. 3 wins on his record so far against Anthony Hanna, Graham McGrath and Eric Burton. Now, interestingly, in his last fight, he went to Bismarck, North Dakota, and appeared on the same show as world champion Virgil Hill, and he had a 1-round win. It was over a club fighter, but that would have been good experience for him, Duke.
That would have been excellent experience going to the States to fight. You know, fighting in North Dakota where Virgil Hill comes from, the fans are absolutely fanatical. I've seen him fight several times, but that should bring out the best in him.
Some good work from Porter early on there on the combination.
That's Danny Porter's trademark punch, a left hook to the body and then one over to the top.
There is Danny Porter, 12 wins, 9 defeats and 1 draw. And he's fought 3 times for the European title, once before for the Commonwealth, the Southern Area title bid and the WBO World title bid. And so far, he hasn't had a win. Will he do it tonight? Bidding again for the Commonwealth Championship. His other effort for this title was against Alfred Cote of Ghana.
You know, if you look at the sort of company that Danny Porter's been mixing in over the years, he's just boxed in world class for quite a long time. I mean, he should be leaps and bounds ahead of Fifield, but, you know, styles make fights.
Porter looking to let go with those left hooks, but none too accurately. Fifield fought very well, I thought, against Mickey Cantwell. We thought that was a step up in class for him, and he was pretty close in that fight. Lost it on points, but I thought in defeat, funnily enough, it was the best performance of his embryonic career so far.
Yeah, it very often happens that way, and you can learn so much from defeat. I don't like the way the fighters are getting in close with their heads and mixing it in. They keep bumping heads.
Always the danger of cuts when that happens, of course. Oh, there's a decent left hook from Fifield on the way in. Probably his best shot so far. Oh, and Porter with the right hand. This is warming up nicely. Round 2. Fifield is being out of range quite a bit with his jab, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just pouring it out. He's not snapping it out at all. He's a little bit weary, I think, of Danny Porter's punching power. But Porter himself has adopted a very strange tactic because he's dropping his left hand extremely low.
And Fifield called off the assault rather there. Maybe he was just a bit frightened that Porter was going to counter him. Wicked left hook from Porter. Might have landed half on the gloves of Fifield.
Those heads are going in dangerously close.
Referee in there is one of Scotland's best, Billy Rafferty. Fifield has sold, I know, about 100 tickets on his own for this show tonight, and he's got a lot of support in the hall. He's feels as if he's boxing at home, even though he's not in his native Oxford.
Yeah, he won't be lacking in support, that's for sure. If the game gets real tough, I'm sure the crowd will lift him up.
I say Porter looks reasonably sharp and light on his feet early on. He doesn't look like a shot fighter, does he?
I don't think he's shot by no stretch of the imagination, but he's adopting a strange tactic and going back, because Danny Porter isn't a backward foot fighter. He has to go forward. You know, that's the that he normally adopts. That's the style that he'll normally take.
Porter, who comes from Hitchin or Biggleswade in Hertfordshire. It's a good fight so far.
You're watching Sky Sports.
If you like a lot of chocolate.